Good morning, crew. I dressed up special for this video for you. Um, this video is an update on what occurred on August 17th. That would be yesterday, in the year of our Lord 2024. And we had another useful day, actually. It's funny because I can't lie, emotionally, this has been a little difficult. I just feel on the edge of out of control all the time. And I don't like that. I'm used to being in control. So we still have not had any correspondence with our builder. There are issues, couple issues that need to be resolved on the back of the house. In addition to the scaffolding being up, but neither of which are life-ending. They're things that can be dealt with later. But so yesterday what we did, I think I told you in yesterday's video that our neighbor, 2 doors down, said he knew a guy who could fix the hole in the roof. And so you will be seeing the footage of that. Sarah took a little portrait video of it, which I mocked her mercilessly for. But she said she felt too conspicuous shooting horizontally. She was trying to hide the fact she was videoing the guy up on the roof. Anyway, our neighbor, 2 doors down, Neil, put us in touch with this guy. And he initially responded Friday saying he'd be here Saturday. Sarah messaged him a couple times to ask him when. He never responded, so she was worried again he wasn't going to come. And then he showed up about 3 o'clock, got up there with a blowtorch and a piece of tar paper, and he patched the hole. He put a temporary patch over the hole. He's coming back Monday with a new slate, and he's going to replace the slate for us. So that's great. That's the number one issue we were really concerned about. In addition to that, I pressure washed the back area, including the stairs, with varying degrees of improvement. Man, they just got the mortar everywhere. It's just stuck on everything out there. And I figure I'll pressure wash again when we come in October. It's just it's a step. I cleaned up. I used the pressure washer to kind of sweep all the sediment into piles and then scooped it up and threw it in the garden rather than washing it down the drain. While I was doing that, Sarah moved cleaned up a little bit more in the garden, moved a bunch of the debris into one area where it will be more easily cordoned off. In addition, I think, was it yesterday that we patched the hole? I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. So there was in the eaves up on the back side of the house, there was a vent hole below the eaves that's 70 millimeters in diameter, and we had asked them to put a cover on it, and there was a bird's nest in there that we saw the birds going in and out. And they didn't do it. So yesterday, I think it was yesterday morning, we got out there and we got a fork and bent the tines of the fork to reach in and taped the fork to the end of a curtain rod and pulled out the bird's nest, and then put a vent cover over that hole, which I did in fact order the vent cover from a place called Screwfix. So anyway, we did that as well. And I think that's basically it. It took me about 2.5 hours, but I'm also sick. I've got this cold. It's not horrible. Actually, I feel pretty good for the most part. But I did sleep in yesterday morning. I slept in till like 10 o'clock. And so I actually, we went to bed early. I slept initially, and then I was awake for a long period of time, and then I slept again from like 5 in the morning until 10. I think I ended up sleeping close to 9 hours, which is really good. And then, so yeah. So it was, and I always feel, I don't know, the mental, emotional part of it for me, like when I'm not feeling well, I always feel like I'm not doing enough, which gets me down. Sarah has been propping me up like a champ. The one other thing we did, I know this is really rambling, but I wasn't prepared, as I should have been with my list, was that we got a hook for our gate into the back garden, because the gate has been damaged through all this, and now it won't close properly sometimes, depending on the humidity. And so I got a hook so we could close it and keep it from banging around, and then temporarily, and then at some point we'll just have to get the whole thing repaired. So that was yesterday, and honestly, everything is under control. We have a strategy. I've actually reached out to the people who are staying here over the next week. There's 2 different groups of people. Our September renter canceled, so I may just block that out and leave the month of September open. We have in the first week in October somebody coming as well, and then hopefully we can get the final issues taken care of in that window. Worst case scenario, it's still up when we get back actually, worst case scenario, I was saying to Sarah, is they come in and take down the render and trash the yard again, and it's not really fit for guests. But better case would be they come in and take it down, actually, best case scenario would be they show up Monday and take the whole thing down and finish everything, and it's done by Wednesday morning when we leave. That's not going to happen. But the second best case would be they come in, the first week in September and take it all down and leave it and leave things neat. But I think we're okay no matter what. I will, the day before we leave, I'll give you a nice tour of how we've left things, and I think it will be good enough. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.